EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the Sunshine State and TIAA Bank Field here in Jacksonville. Tonight, we start Week 11 of the NFL season with a good one here between the Houston Texans and the Jacksonville Jaguars. The NFL season has hit high gear, and off we go in Week 11 on EA Sports. No run back here on the opening kickoff as we'll start at the 25.
Here we go.
They'll start on the ground with Pierce. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30. These two teams, they met earlier in the year in Jacksonville with the Jags coming out on top. So a win here in Jacksonville would give them the season series. Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. Looking to throw. Sliding out of the pocket. That's complete to Pierce. The result, only 4 yards there on the play. And that's going to make it 3rd down. A yard. Pierce will try to pick it up. He is going nowhere as he is enveloped behind the line. No gain on the play there. A nice job defensively, and it likely forces a punt situation on 4th. On 4th down, Matt Hawk to punt it away. Jamal Agnew is deep to return it. This will be fielded at the 17. A great return there of 22 yards. And the Jaguars go on offense, 1st down and 10. Very good starting field position for the Jaguars offense as they come up 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line. They'll start on the ground. ETN. And some room to roam now. Touchdown, Jaguars. Both sides of the football in sync early. You force the 3 and out, and then you take it down, score points.
You know what that tells me? They sold their game plan really well. Head coach said, listen, we're just going to stop them on 3 and out. We're going to take the ball downfield and score. But he also told them how it was going to happen. They're going to run this. We're going to stuff it. Then we're going to take the ball. They won't be able to keep up with us. And they got it done.
So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped it to 23. The time called here because a member of the Texans is in some discomfort. The medical staff is going to come out here and take a look, and we will take a short break. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And they are losers of 2 straight coming into this Thursday night game. Is it more difficult, CD, when you take a losing streak into a quick turnaround game like this?
It certainly is, because you don't get time to work on the issues that you've had throughout the season that have caused you to have the record that you're having. You can't really get those set. So now you're trying to minimize those and maximize what you've been doing well. And I remember a game recently where one of the assistant coaches said to the head coach, forget our running back rotation. This guy has a hot hand, and they rode him to a victory. Those are things you have to look out for in games like this.
So many times when we talk about coverage, we're just about a defender running with a receiver, but a big part of it is understanding where the football is, finding it. In this case, when it arrived, it wasn't a surprise, and he was able to bat it away.
On third down, he'll drop to throw. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Tyson Campbell. And the Jags are going to take possession of the football.
Well, it's not the first time we've seen him give one up here during his rookie season. And in this case, zone coverage forced the mistake. He's made some strides week to week in how he's handling the different type of coverages that he's seeing. But clearly, there's some growing still to do.
Lawrence now off the bootleg. Wide open receiver complete. And he'll be marked down right at the 20-yard line.
And, partner, they're locked in man coverage out left, and they end up running a crossing route. Rounded it a little bit more than a slant. And he's just going to angle himself towards the right side of the field, and that's very difficult for a defender to shadow him across all that ground.
Come on, set.
On 1st and 10, it's Lawrence. And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's 2nd down. The Jaguars at 6-4 now on the year. They were losers their last time out. Trying to get back in the win column, but obviously not an easy task here in a hostile environment.
Yeah, always tough to win away from home. But sometimes what you do is you use these types of games as bonding experiences and carry that into the contest.
On 2nd down, a run with Etienne. And good downhill running. He's got 6 yards down to the 13.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
The Texans here on 3rd down, putting an extra defender in the secondary. Now Lawrence. And able to find Kirk complete. And the Jags are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points. Charles, Thursday night game, I think a lot of teams probably say shrink the playbook somewhat. Is that correct?
I think you're right about that, because you just don't have the amount of time that you have in a normal week to put in a full playbook. So as you said, you shrink the playbook, pick out the play.
And that is caught. Touchdown, Jacksonville. Evan Ingram, his 5th touchdown now on the year, as his guys are able to extend their lead. This time, the extra point up and good. And the lead now stands at 13. Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. From a yard or 2 deep, here comes a return. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. Still in the first half, but this offense has struggled. Haven't really been able to get anything going, not only in the points category, but in the yards category. Let's see if they can do better here on this drive. Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. And this passing game's whole offense really didn't show up in the loss last week, and it hasn't started all that great here either.
Yeah, and they can't let that incompletion become an uh-oh moment. Like, oh boy, here we go again, just like last week. Each game is its own entity, treated as such.
From the 24, they'll go again on 2nd and 10. He'll drop to throw. Jaguar pressure and a Jaguar sack. Chad Muma coming in hard there on the blitz, and he gets him 7 yards behind the line of scrimmage.
I spent a lot of extra time preparing for this game, watching this offensive line, because they gave up 5 sacks last week in their loss. They just gave up another one now. They don't seem to be working together as a cohesive unit. Right? 4 guys might have it right, but the 5th guy is giving something up. They've got to find a way to get on the same page.
On 4th down, Matt Hawk is on to punt. On the return, here's Agnew. A very nice punt that time, but they get 11 back on the return. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. And they come into this one off the loss over the weekend, but you say if you're going to play a Thursday night game, this is the week to do it.
It certainly is, because you get right back out there. You don't have time to dwell on things. And look, your game plan is going to be a little more limited, but so is theirs. So that's when you just appeal to your top players. Guys, you make plays in this one, we out-execute them, we can walk away with a win.
Lawrence with a quick throw outside. That's complete. And he's going to be taken down just shy of the 35.
Well, I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons, weapons everywhere, and they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people. But you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well, and that's what they just did on that play.
They go play action with Lawrence. A quick throw knocked away. It's incomplete.
So much of this game is about leverage. We always talk about low man wins in the trenches. Well, it's like that in just about every position. And sometimes, if you lose that leverage and you're losing the battle, just jump up at the line of scrimmage and try and bat the ball away. And that's exactly what happened there.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Lawrence. This complete to Jones. And he'll be brought down on the 30-yard line after a gain of 6.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Again, it's Lawrence. And he appears to be about 2 feet short on 3rd and 3. Leaves him with a 4th and 1.
And, partner, I would guess that in his headset he was hearing from his coach, it's 3rd down, don't take a sack. And in this case, he's able to avoid the pressure and get out of there. He doesn't get the 1st down, but he does turn a possible loss into positive yardage.
Carlson able to put this one through, and that will extend their lead even further. So they get the 3. It was 4th and 1, and I think you were doing what I was doing. I was looking down at the sideline. I'm not sure the offensive unit wanted the 3. They wanted to go for it.
But when have we ever seen a unit that didn't want to go for it in that situation, right? Sometimes it's just way more important to have the points on the board than to worry about any type of a gamble.
And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a 1st down now. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. If you start assessing what went wrong last week, Charles, in their loss, had nothing to do with the ground game. They ran it well.
And you also have to say to yourself as a team, don't go away from what worked. That's not the reason the game was lost. Running the football over time, when you do it consistently, usually translates into wins.
And they're hoping to do it consistently here. Blitz forthcoming as he'll look to throw. That's caught by his tight end, Jordan Akins. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. 16-0. That's the score after 1 on EA Sports. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Oh, they're going to run a little pop pass here. And they will finally catch him, but not before he gets it to the 11. A huge play there for Houston.
First down, Houston.
So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Well, that's a defensive coordinator's got to be happy with that result. They took away all options downfield and forced the incompletion.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. On 2nd down, here's Pierce. And here he'll get it down to the 7. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
That 2nd down play call was not to pick up the 1st down. It was to accomplish what they did to get them into a manageable 3rd down because they had incompletion on 1st down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
The Texans on 3rd down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This will be 3rd and 6. He'll look to throw. And that is caught. Touchdown, Texans. Jordan Akins. A 7-yard touchdown grab. And the Texans get a bit closer. Fairbairn good with the extra point, and that trims the lead down to 9. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. Taken at the goal line. And he will be brought down here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And they, on paper, Charles, no doubt they have the edge in this one. They are sitting with the AFC elite, and on the other side, they're down toward the bottom of the AFC. But you know what they say, especially at this point in the season, watch out for a trap game.
And in doing so, I would take my game plan and condense it. I would rely on my fundamentals, the fact that my players are probably just better, and not try and do too much, do just enough to win the game. And on the other side of the field, I'm doing everything. Every trick play I can think of, every different formation, you name it, I'm throwing it at them in order to try and get the upset win.
And eventually taken down here. Great coverage downfield. Call it a loss of 5, a big sack to bring up 3rd down. Now Charles dealing with a 3rd and long. They'll have to try to go back to the air again and this time avoid the sack.
Certainly hard to try to establish momentum when all you're doing is going backwards, not protecting the passer, and he gets dumped on his backside.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. This is caught. It's Kirk. And not much happening there. He's taken down, but a late penalty flag in the backfield. And this looks like a roughing call. A bad time for a roughing penalty, and they get the gift of a 1st and 10. Running out of the gun with ETN. Oh, he's got a little daylight. And some solid footwork there as he'll take this down to about the 38. 80 yards for him on the ground so far tonight as he has been terrific in his first half. We've seen him break off a big run already in this game, and for a second, that one looked like it might be another.
Yeah, I think that any defense would say, look, we can't let him get to the 2nd level, because sometimes he'll break off the big run on his own, but oftentimes you get additional blocking at the 2nd level, which gets you deeper into the secondary.
Lawrence with a completion to Kirk. And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. That one goes for 30 yards. They'll run with ETN. And he takes it in. Touchdown, Jacksonville. Travis Etienne with his 9th rushing touchdown on the year. And they are able to add on to their advantage. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And that could be important as that makes this a 16-point lead. Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. Right now, Charles, it just feels like they're trying to keep pace. They did score the touchdown last time out, but they still trail by double digits here. We'll see if this offense is once again up to the task.
Yeah, and I think that after the last drive, they've got to be pretty revved up, don't you think? Everything they were doing was working pretty well. They go back out there with the same mindset, play at the same tempo and the same pace. Still a lot of time left to make something happen in this one.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Now here's a little touch pass as they tap it quickly to their receiver. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. A fresh set of downs on a gain of 13 there for the Texans. Just a simple tap pass, but it pays off in a big way.
And sometimes the simple stuff causes the most problems for a defense because there's a breakdown in communication there. When that receiver goes behind the line of scrimmage and it looks like he's going in motion, someone either has to go with him or he has to be passed off to another defender. Somehow they didn't get that communicated well, and it turned into a nice play.
Now that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
I have a feeling they'll stay committed to running the football, especially on the early downs. They just haven't had a whole lot of success just yet.
So their task a little bit more difficult now. 2nd and 13 that they're walking up on. Now this time he'll look to throw. Try to lob it in there, but it's incomplete. So another incompletion there. He's hitting on fewer than half his pass attempts in this one, and that is not a winning formula.
Yes, let's make sure we give a little bit of credit to the defense here. They've given him a lot to think about, a lot of different looks, and he seems a little bit confused trying to complete passes.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. of the gun. They'll look to throw. And oh, he coughed it up. And the Jags grab it. And they have the football and will set up shop at the 33-yard line. A little careless with the football, and he also had a fumble loss last week, didn't he?
He certainly did, and when I'm watching him play, the one thing that comes to mind is always remember, traffic, turbulence, people around you, two hands. Get two hands on the ball. Grip it tight. I know it looks cool to have it in one hand. Put it away, tuck it away, because you've got to take care of the ball.
Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete.
I'll give them credit winning that first snap and forcing an incompletion. They're hoping that'll deflate the offense a little bit after they took the field charged up after taking over after a turnover.
To throw on 2nd and 10, Lawrence. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And he'll be taken down at about the 22-yard line.
And I like the idea here. Get the ball in his hands, even if it's in the passing game. 3 catches a week ago, and he does a nice job here to pick up yardage.
On 1st and 10, it's Etienne. And this time they were waiting for him as he'll be knocked down before he can get back to the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. If this defense wants to stay in this ballgame, they've got to start ending some drives. That helps.
And they have to look ahead at what they expect the offense to do. And right now with that lead, that's run the football. So you don't just stack the line of scrimmage. You have to get upfield and try and make some plays in their backfield.
Meanwhile, Lawrence's throw here into the hands of Jones. And he's brought down here just outside of the 20.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
The offense on 3rd down tonight, they've been okay. 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. Here's Lawrence. And he's got his big wide receiver complete. And he is not going to get to the marker as they stop him short at the 14. That's good. The completion there for 7 yards. And that'll bring up 4th down. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. Now to try the field goal, here's Daniel Carlson. From the right hash, this a 31-yard attempt. The kick by Carlson is good, and that will extend their lead even further. So they get the turnover in plus territory. The drive stalls out, but still able to get 3 out of that.
Yeah, we were able to see an offense and a defense kind of mix and match with each other, didn't we? Both of them trying to make sure that they have the upper hand and the advantage. Offense trying to get to the end zone. Defense, of course, trying to hold them to a field goal attempt. And it wasn't a guaranteed lock 3 from where they started. So, you know, the offense has to be happy to come away with those 3 points.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And last time they coughed it up, led to a field goal. They're fortunate that it only led to a field goal, but still, they're not happy about it.
Could you sense the relief, though, when they only gave up the field goal and they were able to trot back out on the field and start this drive a little more pep in their step because they didn't cost their team a touchdown, but they know they've got to do it a lot better than they did on the last possession.
The coach will just be relieved, though, if they recoup with a score here, right?
I think the coach will be ecstatic to see them pick themselves back up and now take it downfield, punch in the end zone without turning it over.
Now that after the sack, it'll be interesting to see what they have planned for 2nd and 23. And they'll get him down here at the 23.
Naturally so. The defense was keyed in on everyone but the back on that play, and it took them an extra second to react when he got the carry. It's still a tough 3rd down to pick up here, but a lot more manageable after an excellent carry on 2nd down.
And the Jags, Charles, I think they're in the dime here.
Covering a lot of field.
Back to throw. He rifles one that's intercepted. It's Devin Lloyd with a pick.
A tough adjustment to the NFL throughout his rookie season, and his problem with turnovers is only exacerbated by his early showing today. That's a couple for him here in this first half, and he's cleared the double-digit mark for the entire season.
They'll try to run with Etienne. And he will get this into the end zone for a Jaguar touchdown. Travis Etienne on his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns. And the Jaguars are able to add on to their first-half lead. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And the rout is on here in this first half. Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive.
Charles, we'll see what they can do here. Not a ton of time left, but enough certainly to get points out of this drive, and they need them right now because they're trailing.
Yeah, and this is exactly why you practice a 2-minute drill all through camp and at least one practice each week before a game. A minute left, more than enough time to string a few completions together, reach the end zone, and then make that walk back to the locker room just a little more animated.
And for the third time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off by Micah Hyde. And the Jaguars are going to take possession of the football. So his struggles just continue. First half throwing the football, Charles, now 3 interceptions.
And they don't feel like they're just great plays by the defense. There's a sense that maybe he's a little careless with the football now. So some of the great coaches in the past, you know, they've always said, I can't teach you, obviously, because you're not listening. So maybe the bench can teach you. He's got to be careful now. He might get pulled.
109 yards for him on the ground now and 3 touchdowns to go along with it.
This guy's well on his way now to a big game on the ground. It's another good run there. Puts him over the century mark in yardage, and we're still in the second quarter.
On the set.
Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line. A snap to Lawrence as he taps this forward.
And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the second quarter. So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit from the right hash, and this one just a chippy. The kick by Carlson is good, and that will do it for this first half. So we've come to halftime after a very one-sided beginning to this one. As we send you a couple hours south of here to Orlando, that's where we check in with the coach and our EA Sports Halftime Report. And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, getting set for quarter number 3 here. The Jaguars in possession of the lead, and they will get the football as we are underway in this second half. And no run back here as the third quarter will commence with a touchback. The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. Now, the first half definitely went their way, and this would seem to be a great opportunity to kind of put this game a little closer out of reach with a score here.
Yeah, and it's a wonderful opportunity for them because if they can add 7 more to their lead before the other guys even see the football, that could be the decisive blow in this game. I think that's how they're eyeing it. That's how they're approaching it.
That time they're able to bottle him up, but he's having a really nice game.
I agree with that. Let's just go big picture, right? Every back that's in the Hall of Fame had carries where they didn't gain yardage or they lost yardage, but you stick with them, don't you? When they're having a good game, keep feeding them.
On second down, Etienne once more. And they're able to get this one across the 35. The Jags picking up the first down there, a gain of 12.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now
at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time and making it work.
And that'll be good for 8 yards to the 45.
Good yardage there on first down. Exactly what you want. Get yourself set up to keep making first downs, keep the clock running. And if they're smart, you're starting to milk the clock. No hurry before you run your second down play.
8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's second and a couple. Etienne once more. And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. Not enough there for a first. No gain, as a matter of fact. And it leaves them at 3rd and 1.
So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down. On 3rd and 1, it's Lawrence. And he'll be tackled on the other side of midfield at the 46-yard line.
It is certainly becoming rarer by the year to see your franchise guy take a hit like that. The defender couldn't believe he had a shot to light him up. So when you take off and run, you have to make sure you can slide, get out of bounds, anything. Just don't leave yourself open to hits like that.
And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. They'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
Well, that was one of the few times they've been able to contain him thus far. He's over 100 yards for the game, but he lost a bit off his total on that carry.
On 2nd and 11 now. Lawrence. Caught by Jones.
And he'll be brought down just shy of the 40.
When you see zone defense and you know you got a drag route on as your primary call, you got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
And on 3rd and 5, this will be the 8th play of the drive.
Off the option, here's Etienne.
And he'll take this one down to about the 40. Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it'll be 4th down.
But this was just simply excellent defense. On this 3rd down, they had to be alert for the possibility of a pass, but that didn't stop them at all from understanding what was going on when they decided to run the football, and they just swarmed and stuffed them for almost no gain.
The Cook now on to punt as he gets this one away.
And that'll hit in the end zone. Much too much leg there. That'll be a touchback. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive.
CD, they certainly know the hole that they face as they begin the second half. They have to do what precious few teams have done in NFL history, and that's try to come back from a 4-possession deficit.
And, partner, you know as that team gathers, they're saying to each other, you never say never, right? Because if you're on an NFL roster, that's how you have to think. You can always come back and win a ball game. And let's face it, we saw a certain Super Bowl, a 25-point lead late that wasn't enough to put someone away. But that being said, this task is near impossible. Let's face it. And bottom line is, it officially becomes impossible if this possession is an empty one.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10.
1st and 10, it's Pierce.
And not much there at all. Maybe a yard up to the 43.
Well, this defense, they've got the 4-score advantage, and you can see why they continue to bottle up the run game, and really they've just been sharp in all facets here in this one, CD.
Yeah, they've kept that offense in check the entire game, and I think it's been led by what you just talked about, that defensive front, which has not allowed them to run the football and establish control of the line of scrimmage.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9.
Throwing, Mills.
And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on 3rd down.
We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. After an incomplete pass on second down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. Now Mills. It's hauled in by Brandon Cooks. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Jaguars' 36. 21 yards there on 3rd down.
Well, maybe this offense has learned something from watching their counterparts work. I'm wondering if their coaching staff said, let's do what they've been doing the entire game, because that's worked well. This offense, they have not looked particularly good all game long, but a nice throw there for a good gain and a first down.
A throw over the middle, taken in. And they'll work this down inside the 30.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
Throw left side complete. That's Pierce. Down inside the 10. And he will reach the 8-yard line before going out. A good pickup there, 21 yards.
It's taken a while for this offense to get going. A little creaky at the start, but they're oiled up now. A nice throw there, and they're really putting together a good drive.
And they'll throw again. Here's Mills. Delivers another one to Pierce. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. That will go as a pickup of 7 on the 7th play of the drive.
It appears they found something that's working, and they keep going back to it. I guess you can actually say he has the hot hands now, doesn't he?
Yeah, well, it's one thing to hit your guy out of the backfield once, hit him a couple times. Yeah, you're right. Maybe they're onto something.
And I think a lot of that is simply, if you get it to him in space, more times than not, he's going to get more yardage than you expect out of each play.
2nd and goal from the 1. Looking to throw is Mills. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he is going to lose yardage here. They'll wind up losing 3 here on the play. And that will lead to a 3rd and goal. It looked like the defense, they were ready for that one.
Really left him almost no room to work after catching the ball. He could throw every move in the book at him. They were there, and they tackled him for a loss.
3rd and goal, trying to make that scoreboard at least a little more respectable. Play fake, Mills. They'll roll him out right. This is caught. Touchdown. Brevin Jordan from 4 yards out. And the Texans are able to make some inroads here to that deficit. Extra point by Fairbairn, up and good. And that'll cut the lead down now to 22.
Texans 14.
So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. Taking it about the 1. Jamal Agnew now to return it. And he will make it back to the 15, and that's it. Good coverage there by the kick team. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And now you've got the clock winding down here in the 3rd quarter. Your 3 scores to the good. What's your approach on this drive?
Too early to fully commit to playing the clock game. Yet at the same time, you're also not going pell-mell like you would in 2-minute offense. This is what NFL offenses call 4-minute football. Take the clock out of the game a little bit, wind it down, but at the same time, keep advancing the ball down the field.
1 quarter remains here in this Thursday night matchup. This is the National Football League on EA Sports.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run.
Another tote for Etienne.
And that closed up quickly there as he gets it up only to about the 17. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
The Jaguars on 3rd down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This is 3rd and 8.
Now Lawrence to throw.
Under pressure, and the Texans able to get in there for the sack. Call it a loss of 4 there on the sack. And speaking of the number 4, it brings up 4th down now. Here's Logan Cook now, standing about a yard deep in his own end zone. He'll take it at the 42. 42 yards on the punt, just 2 on the return.
And the Texans will take over.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive.
And they unfortunately are staring at a mini losing streak developing, trailing here in the 4th quarter. This would be their 3rd straight defeat. Mills now looks to throw on 1st down.
Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Pierce. Calling a gain of 3 on the play, and that'll make it 2nd down. You got the big lead defensively, willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
Coming up on 2nd and 7. To throw, Mills. Finds his man, it's John Mechie. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. It's a gain of 35. Defensively, I know they have the comfortable lead here in the 4th, but they do not want to give up big plays like that.
They want to finish strong. So oftentimes in this situation, you tighten up underneath in your coverage, and you bring your safeties back. They can pick up anything that leaks through. But in the meantime, upfield, you're making plays on the football.
Pierce takes it straight ahead.
And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line.
Tackled by the corner, C.J. Henderson.
It's interesting going into this game. There was so much talk from both sides about who would control the line of scrimmage. I think we've seen who has it in this one so far.
Well, they bottled him up. He's barely averaging over 3 yards a carry right now. Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6.
Mills to throw it.
Under pressure, and he'll go down back at the 26-yard line.
That's Foley Fadukasi, who got in there and finished off the play.
Yeah, some real defensive resistance there, saying not so fast to a good drive. Did march to the end zone the last time out.
So now after the sack, Mills and the Texans needing to navigate a 3rd and long.
They'll set up a throw.
All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked by Chad Muma. And the Jags are going to take over here at their own 22-yard line.
Well, just another reason to celebrate there on the defensive side with the interception, and this is a game that they clearly have firmly in their grasp.
Yeah, a lot of handshakes, a lot of hugs, a lot of smiles. It's been their day.
Now Etienne to start the drive.
And for one of the first times all night, he is going to go nowhere as they bury him behind the line. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on 1st down. Finally, defensively, they have a little clip to show positive for actually stopping him running the football.
It's been a really long night for them, hasn't it? So they get a little bit of a win there, but let's face it, the vision that he's had running the football has carried his feet to the open spaces and to big yardage all night long.
He went backwards 7 yards, setting up a tough third down.
Those big ends don't really care what the play call is. Big pass, RPO, handoff, whatever. Their job, get behind the line of scrimmage every play and run down whoever has the ball. Mission accomplished there.
Ready?
And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. Lawrence. Got a man over the middle, and it's complete. And they'll bring it down at the 27-yard line. It's a 15-yard pickup, but it'll lead to a 4th down. Here's Logan Cook now as he's on to punt for Jacksonville. It's a 42-yard punt. They keep him to just a yard on the return. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive.
We certainly had a sense coming in here that these guys were in for a tough one on the road. That has been how this ball game has played out. They trail big as we continue on now here in this 4th quarter.
At this point, down big, you'd have to imagine this defense are just going to sit back, blanket the field as best they can.
Yeah, this is actually the easy part of the game for them because, just as you noted, they can sit back, keep everything in front of them. But they've blanketed the field the entire game using a variety of coverages.
Now a man open down the middle of the field. And he'll be taken down, but not before they reach the 50. That one covers 24 yards. It's a 1st down.
Well, those are the types of plays they probably wish they had made more of in the first 3 quarters. And this deficit going to be tough to overcome here in the 4th. But a nice 1st down and a pickup on that throw.
Yeah, and this is where, as coaches, you're looking for...
Mills can't get away, and down he goes. Jermaine Johnson in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year.
Oh, you can just see it in their body language. They're starting to see victory on the horizon now, and if it comes to fruition, they got to give a game ball to the front 7. Defensive line has taken charge and controlled this game. Face a challenge of stopping this opposing offense, and they've done so with ease.
Tall task ahead of him here, needing a full 15 yards to move the chains. 3rd and long for Mills.
And it's intercepted. Picked up by Jalen Ramsey.
And the Jaguars are going to get this back to their own 34-yard line.
If they had designs of kind of wiggling their way back into this one, that hurts their chances right there.
They had to put it mildly. Look at the lead. Look at the deficit. Trying to make a play downfield. Everyone seeking to be somewhat the hero. Didn't turn out that way at all, and you're exactly right. It's going to take a lot for them to have a chance to win this one now.
And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44.
138 yards on the ground for him now as he has gotten better, really, as the night's gone on.
Now, that was an excellent run. And when you see that happen, that's when you're seeing guys doing their job and then some people doing a little bit more. Offensive linemen and tight ends, they're expected to block. But the wide receivers, all they want to do is catch passes. So when they block on a big-time running play and create extra space, you've got to hit the jackpot there.
A good gain on 1st. Has him set up with 2nd and just a couple of inches now from the 29.
And they'll go again with Etienne.
And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's no gain on the play, and they'll remain a few inches shy of a 1st with 3rd down looming.
They'll run with Etienne.
And he's got the 1st down as he's up to the 45-yard line.
Someone's been having a good game so far, and you know something? A lot of it's been power running. They decided to turn him loose again on 3rd down, didn't they?
They did indeed. He delivered the tough yards. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this 2nd half. Here's 1st and 10. Clock counting down toward 40 seconds as they take the knee. They put up their goal at the beginning of the season
congratulations to them for achieving their goal. They have to finish the season strong, but you've got to think that going forward for next year, they're going to jump that number up a little bit higher.